Hey folks, how you all doing? So, as was common on my previous two channels, um, I always show what I've been playing over a period of time. Could be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. Just depends until I've got a stack of either records or compact discs. So I'm going to show you what I've been playing over the last probably 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks. Compact discs that I show get played in the car. Vinyl records obviously not in the car because you don't have record players in the car, right? So common sense rules there. But I'll just quickly show you what I've played. There's about 20 compact discs and all up 14 LPs. So I'll go through the I'll go through 4 of the vinyl first. The others are in a box set. So I'll go through the 4 single LPs and then the CDs and then eventually the box set. So I played this one over the last few weeks. It's a best of album by Don McLean. There's all the tracks there. Just a great singer songwriter, and even when he does cover songs like Crying and I Love You So, etc, it's just really good. Also been getting into a bit of Glen Campbell lately. I'm not a fan of Glen Campbell. To be honest with you, I've never really been a fan. I do own a double essential CD disc set with about 40 songs on it. But I'm going to start listening to the vinyl shortly that Lynn has in her record collection. Because I'm actually starting to appreciate his music a bit more. That's all the songs that are on it. Not a month goes by in my life where I do not play any Nick Cave. I pulled out this one as a random pick. Probably his most commercially sounding album, his most pop radio friendly album. Great album. Title track's absolutely brilliant. Today's Lessons, Night of the Lotus Eaters, We Call Upon the Author, Jesus of the Moon, More News from Nowhere. Absolutely sublime songs. The rest of the songs are still really good as well. Just a great late career album from Nick Cave. Also pulled out Jim Reeves. Big fan of Jim Reeves. This was from my dad's collection actually, from back in the day. I think this was released in the 70s or reissued very early in the 70s. It's on the Victor label there. You just cannot go wrong with Jim Reeves, in my opinion, as far as crooners go. I call him more of a crooner. They call him a country singer, but he's a crooner. He really is a crooner as opposed to country. It's a great album there. Next we'll go on the compact discs. Just got to find out where to put them when I finished. I'll just put them in there, I guess, down there. So I couldn't find the vinyl, so I pulled out the CD anyway. Men at Work, Australian rock band. They only released 3 albums. This was the debut. Absolutely phenomenal. One of the greatest debut albums of all time, in my opinion. And Down Under is probably the worst track on the album. I'm not a fan of that, never have been. Painkillers from Brian Fallon. He's the lead vocalist for New Jersey rock band the Gaslight Anthem. Gaslight Anthem stuff, especially their first 3 albums, sounds a lot like Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. So if you like Springsteen and the E Street Band, go check out the first 2 or 3 Gaslight Anthem albums. But pretty good album anyway, this solo album. Got this one here, Finlay Quaye. He's a Scottish singer. It's just a real good R&B vibe with this album. Really good. Can't even think. It's sort of, think reggae crossed real traditional R&B sounds. Solid album. Was a winner of the Brit Awards, and he also got Best Male Solo Artist, so that says it all in my opinion. Great album. Don't know anything. I think I got that album for, I don't know, a couple of bucks in a bin, in a sales bin at some point. Can't remember. Florence and the Machine, Between Two Lungs. So it's basically the Lungs album with another disc of remixes. Never heard these remixes or these live tracks. I just really like this album. It was all downhill after this album, in my opinion, for Florence. This is from Lynn's collection. I've never actually heard this album, but my daughter is a big fan of Bjork. This is Post. This is the album with that track Oh So Quiet, which is a really good song. As for the other 10 songs on this album, very average. Probably 2 or 3 that I would like. Heat by Jimmy Barnes. I think this is I don't know, might be his 6th solo album. I could be wrong. 1993, probably his 5th solo album after he left Cold Chisel, or Cold Chisel split up. Big fan of his early material. It's just screech on this album. Probably 2 songs I like on that, not very good at all. Then we go to another one of Lynn's here, Cosmic Thing, B-52s. It's okay. All the songs on here sound like Rome and Love Shack. It's just got that sound to it. It's not a bad album. It's not something I would rush out and buy though. The incredible Sixto Rodriguez, Come From Reality, another one of the greatest debut albums of all time. Oh no, this isn't the debut. This is his 2nd album. Cold Fact was his debut album. Come From Reality was his 2nd. Great artist. Never sold anywhere. Sort of in the vein of singer-songwriter with a big social conscience. So sort of like a Bob Dylan that can sing. Check out Searching for Sugar Man, documentary about his life. Really good. Wanted a compilation of Nick Cave, so I played this one. It doesn't really work. All the songs are fabulous, but it doesn't work simply because Nick Cave albums are thematical. There's a running, it's conceptual if you want, for another phrase, have a central theme running through his albums. When you've got single greatest hits albums, they just don't flow that easy. It's a bit like a Pink Floyd greatest hits or a best of Jethro Tull, for example. It just doesn't work when you try to pick tracks off, 7, 8 albums and try to fit them together. But overall, it's good to hear these songs again. So yeah, it is I wouldn't say great album, but they're great songs. Next up, Grinder Man. It's a side project for Nick Cave. Very dirty, very grungy. Half decent album. I do like it. I don't love it. That one. And I also got out Grinder Man 2, the 2nd side project under that name by Nick Cave. Check out Mickey Mouse and the Goodbye Man, Worm Tamer, and the brilliant Palaces of Montezuma. If you want to listen to some really good alternative Nick Cave. Both these albums are just being issued in June or July. I think it's July, on vinyl for the first time since their very limited edition when they first got released. I've actually got them on pre-order on vinyl, so I'll have them soon, by the middle of August, I guess. Next up, Freak Water, with the albums called Sherazade. Is that how you pronounce that? Sherazade. They're a bluegrass group from Kentucky. Yeah, I don't like anything on this album at all. It's just there's just nothing to it. Melodies, harmonies, they're all really bad. The music's really bad, so I think I got that in a discount bin as well at some point. Can't go wrong with a bit of Franz Ferdinand. I think I've got 6 of their albums plus a compilation. Really good band. Had this one in the car this morning actually. What Story Morning Glory by Oasis. I'd actually forgotten how good this album actually was, and also forgotten how much I actually do dislike Wonderwall. um, yeah, it's a really horrible song. I think radio just overkilled it back in the day, and I still haven't got over it. Two best songs on here for me would have to be Don't Look Back in Anger and the brilliant album closer, Champagne Supernova. But yeah, incredible album. Wanted to play some Alice Cooper, randomly pulled the CD out, and we got Welcome to My Nightmare, which is the sequel to Welcome to My Nightmare. Very, very good album. It's quite an eclectic album, actually. When I put it in the car, Lynn actually asked who was singing, because it just didn't sound like an Alice Cooper album to her. You know, she was expecting... She knows his 70s material, some of his 70s material, and obviously she knows that horrific Poison song, which was a huge worldwide hit. But none of his later career stuff she doesn't really know. This was 2011. Really, really good album, and a great sequel. It's just about as good as Welcome to My Nightmare, in my opinion. I know I'm putting my head on the chopping block for that, but it really is. Molly Tuttle, When You're Ready. She's a bluegrass / folky country singer-songwriter. This was her debut album, I believe, from 2019. This was actually my album of the year of 2019, and after listening to it again, I don't see any reason to change my opinion of it. Pure class, crystal clear vocals. You know when some singers sing and their voices are just so crystal clear, and you can hear every note and every nuance in their voice. It's just brilliant. She's one of them singers that can do that. Great stuff. This was one from 2 days ago in my car. Melissa Etheridge, Memphis Rock and Soul. It's basically a covers album of old R&B soul songs. I think the original Stax label studio band are actually backing her on this album, so it's got that authentic feel, and she's got those rough, raspy vocals which really lend and blend well to these sort of songs. I don't know if you can see that or not. No, can't really see it. Respect Yourself's on here. Rock Me Baby, Born Under a Bad Sign. Born Under a Bad Sign, her cover on this album is probably the best version I've ever heard. Great stuff. Even better than Homer Simpson's version from The Simpsons. Next up, Pantera. Cowboys from Hell. I really don't care for this album. My friend in Kentucky actually recommended this album for me. It's the only album of theirs that he likes, and he knew I was a big fan of Metallica. So you know, you got the big four. Was it Megadeth, Slayer, Pantera, and Metallica? And he said, "Oh, he really likes this album. Maybe I should go and buy it." I bought it. Wish I didn't. A piece of crap, basically. I wanted to hear some White Stripes, so I pulled out Elephant. Great album. Seven Nation Army's on this. The Hardest Button to Button. Just really good album. Pretty close to being my favourite Rolling Stones album. Don't quote me as being the favourite, but it's very well up there in my opinion, and it's Emotional Rescue. They had a trilogy of really good albums around this period. Some Girls, this, and Start Me Up, which I thought were absolutely fabulous. This is their disco album. Not that it's really disco, there's a couple of songs on it that would lend to dance music, but just a really good album. She's So Cold and Emotional Rescue were the two big hits on this. Very good album. Finally, for compact discs, it's the only album I own by this artist, and the only one I care to own, and it is Kanye West, My Dark Beautiful Twisted Fantasy. I think that's what it is. I hope I got the words right. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. What I used to do in the old days, say around the time when this album was released, I'd get gift cards from people for my birthdays and for Christmas, and I'd save them till Christmas, till the end of year sales were on, and then I would go through albums that I've listened to throughout the year and go, yeah, I'll buy that one, I'll buy that one. No, I don't, not really keen on that one, I'll buy that one. Anyway, I had enough left for a couple of compact discs that year in 2011, and this one kept coming up as number one on everyone's list of albums for the year, you know, whether it was Rolling Stone or Q Magazine or Uncut or one of those others. And I thought, well, never heard of Kanye at the time, I wasn't really into that sort of music, and I decided to buy it, and it's pretty much a piece of crap, but you know, is what it is. Finally, we've got some albums here I want to show you. I bought this for Lynn a while ago. She's a big fan. She's got most of the albums on vinyl, but it's the INXS All the Voices 10 LP Beck set for her birthday. INXS actually released 12 studio albums. They released 10 with Michael Hutchence on vocals, and that's the 10 that are in this box set. So I was listening to these over the last month or so as well. So we've got INXS, the debut album, underneath the colours, Shabooh Shoobah, love that album cover, great stuff. And then we get into the part where they started getting a bit more popular in the world. We've got the Swing, Listen Like Thieves. I think Morten Astad just he's got an unboxing of the 40th anniversary of this album on his website, so head over there and watch his unboxing. It's quite impressive. I would have expected a better box set, as I discussed with Morten, but that's okay. We've got Kick, which was probably their biggest worldwide hit. X. Now the X isn't their 10th album. X is 10 years since they released their debut album. That was the meaning of the title of that one. And we have one of the most abysmal album covers of all time. Welcome to Where You Are. Full Moon Dirty Hearts. And finally, the 10th and final album, with Michael Hutchence, another bad album cover, Elegantly Wasted. So I'm not telling you what I think of all these INXS albums, because I listened to them purely because I was never really a big fan of INXS. I do own the Swing, Kick, and Listen Like Thieves on vinyl from the old days, but that's it. I'm well versed in most of their singles, obviously being in Australia, but I've never actually heard most of their albums. So this was interesting, going through them chronologically as to how they developed, and I've actually decided to do a albums rankings video, and that'll be up probably in the next week, maybe. Might be a bit sooner, might be a bit later, it just depends how busy I get. So that's why I'm not telling you exactly what I think of each of these albums at this stage. You're going to have to watch the rankings video to see what I think of INXS and also their albums and how I place them. So thanks for watching this, guys. If you've stood by for the last 19 minutes right now, let me know what albums of these you have in your record collection, what I may have persuaded you to go and listen to, etc, etc. Till next time when I do another one of these videos, folks, however long it takes is however long it takes. Stay safe, take care, all for now, catch you around, and bye, folks.